Okay, in health news, vegetarians. Why are vegetarians and vegans maybe at risk of suffering a rare type of stroke, a higher risk? According to this new study, it's out of Oxford, and it found vegetarians or vegans are 20% more likely to have a type of a stroke where your blood vessels in your brain burst and causes your brain to bleed. Okay, very serious. But the same study also found non-meat eaters have a lower chance of heart disease, which I would expect. So, Dr. Daria, this is one of those studies where I go, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. So if you're a vegetarian, sometimes you think, well, okay, I have a lower chance of heart disease, but then why would I have a higher risk of a weird type of a stroke? I don't mean weird, I just mean a rare type.
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And I think sometimes our audience can say they have headline whiplash because today you should eat this and tomorrow you shouldn't eat this. We got to take a step back. And what this study showed was that, yes, vegetarians may have a slight increase in this rare type of stroke that you mentioned. But the good thing is they have a significant reduction in the risk of heart disease. That's a #1 killer of people in the U.S., 22% risk reduction of heart disease. So that's the main headline to me. You are safer from heart disease. Why may there be a slight increase in this risk of this rare kind of stroke? We don't fully know. They think that maybe some vegetarians may not get enough nutrients like vitamin B12, vitamin D, and amino acids that may contribute to it.
You know what? I do have a vitamin D deficiency.
You do?
I am a,
You are a vegetarian, right?
Yeah. So, but it seems like pescatarians went out in this study that fish eaters do not have a higher risk of strokes. Why would that be?
So, and again, the fish eaters were a much smaller number of total people of the study, so you can't necessarily draw, but they didn't find that they did. So again, it may be down to some of those nutrients, vitamin D, vitamin B12, some of those amino acids. And what I take away from this is no, people who are vegetarian should not just go change their diet and start eating steak. So just for you and everybody listening, let's remember that. But it's not a bad idea to incorporate a little bit of lean protein, lean meat into your diet. And even red meat, you can have about 2 servings or less a week. Not necessarily a bad idea.
Not if you're vegetarian or vegan, but you mean in general.
In general, most people can. But what I would...
Because I can incorporate lean protein in terms of other types of protein that are not animal-based.
Exactly, that aren't. And so that's the thing about vegan. And some people say they're vegetarian, but you look at what they're eating. They're eating these hyper-processed foods and gluten-free pretzels and lollipops. Technically, that's vegetarian. That's not the healthy kind of vegetarian. We all could do to be a little more vegetarian-like, eating less red meat, more produce. And I have one tip I want to give everybody listening that they could do is one meal this week, instead of having a meat meal, have it be a meat-free meal and get your protein from beans or legumes or something else. That's going to benefit every single person out there. And we can just keep it simple. It doesn't need to be complicated.
And the scientist community really found a lot of holes in this study because they said, among other things, it doesn't take into account, like, oh, maybe I'm a vegetarian, but I sit on my butt all day, and I do.
Well, you look... How about you? You look great. But yes, there's so many other things, which is why we don't need to just go change what we're doing based on one study. We take this as a whole. We know that no matter what, eating less red meat is better and eating more produce is better. And if we all did that, we would all be better off. And that's what I want everybody to take away from this.
Dr. Daria, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Robin.
Okay.